can't remember not being interested in art. I was definitely the kid who was always drawing superheroes or drawing spaceships or drawing just anything I could. Photography kind of came to me partly through skateboarding. I was an avid skateboarder, and it was the era of mid-'80s homegrown DIY zines. What I remember most about the early days was the struggle, like the failure of it. How many times I was trying to get something else out of the picture that I couldn't quite reach. In college, I ended up almost accidentally falling into a photo class with a guy named Christopher James, who's been a huge proponent of early historical processes, and my world was just kind of exploded from that point on. There's still a lot of magic in analog and chemical photography for me. I've ended up shooting with a 14 by 17 inch camera for a lot of these tintypes. And in fact, some of the huge frustrations of the processes I use are part of the work in some ways. I think the struggle helps me work through the ideas I might be having. It helps me fight a little bit harder for something that I might care about. Over the years, I've come to understand how important to me is the idea of any photograph as a sculpture, as an object, that even paper has weight. One of the most amazing things about being an artist is you are speaking to yourself from the past to the future almost always. It really is our only language for the irrational, and so much of being alive is irrational. For me, a photograph, a good photograph, elicits a kind of bodily response. If you are going to cross the room and spend some time with my artwork, I want to give you things to discover within the piece itself, whether they're simply visual or conceptual or theoretical or physical. Something that surprises a little bit, but is felt in the body ultimately. And I think that's a difference for me between photography and, say, painting. I've become pretty amazed over the years how far you can push the photographic process away from something that we might think is directly representational of the world, and it still feels photographic. These old processes still feel like a glimpse of the world. An old process that's printed tiny or large and then painted on, drawn on, or abused still feels like some representation of the world. Art should be a place where we can be our better, weirder, and bigger selves, where everything is worth questioning and most things are worth breaking.